Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it. All right, cousins, welcome back to another episode of Melanin Mysteries, where we do true crime a little different over here. Now, listen, if you were with us at the BTCC live show back in October, this story might sound a little familiar, but baby, we're bringing it back for the masses because everybody couldn't fit in the room, and this one deserves to be heard far and wide. And before we go any further, let me say this really clear because y'all don't be listening. If you skip the disclaimer, go back, rewind, and heed everything that was said. We are not like these other podcasts. We don't do dry. We are going to laugh. We gonna joke, and yes, we gonna talk our shit. All right, all right.
Well, hold on.
Be
Now we might
quiet
talk about you too.
be quiet during the intro. Thank you. So,
Sorry.
this podcast is not for the sensitive, and that is perfectly okay. Protect your peace, but baby, this may not be your space. Now, to our cousins, our day ones, our family, welcome back for another week of shenanigans, information, entertainment, and real life examples of what not to do. Because somebody got to learn, and it may as well not be you. Now, we got a couple quick church announcements because I'm going to remind y'all every time. If you haven't already, I'm going to need y'all to head over to Spotify, sign up for the subscriptions, especially if somehow you missed the social media announcement, which tells me you ain't got your notifications on, but we're going to talk about that later. One Bad Night is hosted by myself. It drops on 2/7 and it's going to be a bi-weekly mini episode, okay? And then we have the Cousin Confessions dropping February 14th, aka Valentine's Day. Also bi-weekly, messy, funny, and unhinged in the best way. So you'll have a new episode every single week. In addition to Love Lies and Alibis lives over there. Ad-free episodes on Sundays, not Mondays, because we consider it like that. And all other goodies will be sliding in too. So stay ready. Now,
Get interviews.
what
Sorry.
Now, ladies, talking specifically to y'all, if you have not gotten your tickets yet to Ladies Night In, the Melanin Mysteries and Melanin Mayhem mashup virtual show, what the hell are you doing with your life? The link is in the show notes. It's February 7th. I need y'all to get it together, okay? All right. Now, also, head over to melaninmysteries.com because we got merch, ad space, and if you just want to bless your favorite cousins with a tip, we accept love in all forms. And last but not least, and this is important, make sure you're leaving a review wherever you're listening. We don't want 5 stars only. Anything else, just send us a message. Appreciate it. And the Apple people, we talking to y'all specifically. Rate it, leave a note, say something nice because it helps us more than you know. Now, we are all settled, so we're going to go ahead and get into this week's case because today we are talking greed, voodoo, and a delusional couple who just absolutely lost the plot. So y'all know the vibe. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host, Willie. Let's get it. Man, look, I'm just trying to fix my relationship. I don't know what kind of roots this girl put on my life, but whatever it is, it needs to be undone because everything's been going wrong and it don't make no sense. I'm trying to move forward. I mean, I got a new baby. I got a wife. Man, I am just trying to be happy, but it's like one thing after another, thing after thing, money problems, arguments, bad luck, nothing sticking, nothing working. And I know it ain't me, right? One of my friends told me about this lady. I guess, you know what I'm saying, she knows how to remove roots, and that's what she do. That's her specialty. Her name is Georgia, right? Or something like that. So I'm thinking, okay, this is it. This how we fix our family. This how we get our life back on track. Me and my wife, of course, we're excited. We finally felt like we had an answer, like somebody was about to help us. But then she played us. Straight played us. took our money, didn't fix nothing, left us exactly where we was, still struggling, still stuck. And I don't understand why she would do that to us. All I needed was for her to take the roots off. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to prosper. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted us to do better. And my wife, she said, nah, we can't let this slide. She said, you don't play with people's lives like that. You don't mess with people's families. And I think it's just going to be over. So we did what we had to do.
So it is April 24th, 2017, and we are in Baker County, Georgia. I don't know, that just sounds like the backwoods. But anyway, 911 gets a call from a woman named Ramona Newton. And she like, my mama house next door is on fire, and I don't even know if she's in there. So they go ahead and they send the fire department, obviously. But this is where it gets weird. A few minutes later, Ramona calls 911 again because after running around the house screaming her mother's name, she's trying to figure out what's going on. She actually finds her mom, and thank God she's not inside the house. She's outside
Mm.
in the woods by a tree, and she's bleeding. And no, I'm not talking about I fell down the steps bleeding. I'm talking about like this is bad. She's been stabbed more than a few times. And you see, this is when it clicks because a house don't stab you and then light themselves on fire. So at this
Mm.
point, this ain't just a house fire anymore. This is foul play, capital F. And somebody is lying. Her family didn't want to wait for an ambulance because it would take too long. So they got Georgia in the car and took her to the hospital themselves. It had to be in the
I ain't mad
backwoods
at her.
somewhere.
As I was literally just about to say that. You had to be in the back of the woods where they said, I ain't even wait. I'm just going to go ahead and take her, right? Now, let me tell y'all who Georgia really was. Georgia Green was 61 years old, born and raised right there in Baker County, Georgia. One of 10 kids, country as hell, and didn't bother nobody. By her mid-20s, she was already divorced, raising two daughters, Rhonda and Ramona, all by herself. But Georgia wasn't outside like that. She was in the church, y'all, church-going woman. Both her daughters said she was a strong woman, heavy on the faith, heavy on the Lord, and if you look at the pictures, it's heavy on the weight. Just throwing it out there for y'all. So, in fact, she felt called. I guess she said, you know what? Let me go ahead and start preaching. And that's where she met her second husband, Luke Griffin, right there in the church. They got married. The congregation grew. Everything looked real good on the outside. And then Georgia took it a step further. She started doing marriage counseling and spiritual healing. And listen, when folks in the South say spiritual healing, you already know what that really means. She was missing a little bit of hoodoo and voodoo with a couple hallelujahs. Can I get to church? Say amen. Oh, I guess I ain't got no church. Anyway, she had a whole room in her house dedicated to it. She prayed with you, then light a candle, and then after that, I guess she's gonna fix your life. Real multi-purpose ministry. Okay, now Georgia and Luke ended up divorcing in 2004, but instead of leaving the land, Luke just moved out the house and built his own house on the same property.
He said,
Yeah,
I ain't
that's some.
going nowhere. He was like, you stuck with
I
me,
ain't
bitch. He
going
said,
nowhere.
till
No,
death
I'm
do
saying?
us part. He said, I'm
Yeah,
gonna move
blood
out
in,
the
blood
house.
out, dog.
He's like, but I'm gonna move. He's like, but you ain't.
But
He said,
on
he
the
said, I have to
property.
move out, but I ain't have to leave.
Exactly. You said I had to. You said I ain't got to go home, but I had to get the hell out of here, and I did. I went right in that door. So look, then the daughter Ramona built her house on the property, and Rhonda, she said, "Forget building. I'm just gonna buy the house next door." So they all lived to like a little, and that's what I want. I ain't gonna lie. I want a what they call that? Not a fort, but like you know what I'm saying, big land of property. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I was thinking of a different name, but I would love to have that to have all my family on one big plot of land. So look. Mama in the middle, ex-husband on one side, daughter on the other, and other daughters next door. The whole little family compound. That's the compound. I couldn't think of the word for nothing. A compound. Like the Georgia Brady Bunch, but with more prayers, more roots, and probably a jar in the freezer that don't belong to nobody's dinner. And here's where you need to pay attention because when all of this went down, everybody just happened to be at Georgia's house. Ex-husband Luke, there. Daughter Rhonda and her husband Brad, there. And Kim and Lenorris Williams, also there.
So let me get this straight. Georgia is stabbed nearly to death. Her house is on fire, and it actually burnt to a crisp. They burnt that house down. And somehow,
Yeah, man, that house, yeah.
somehow the entire family and this random married couple just so happened to be there. Okay. Now Georgia is in such bad shape. Like we said, they done took her to the hospital, and this ain't about rules or protocol at this point. It's about just survival. So when they pulled off, the fire department and the police finally start rolling in. Like we said, they had to have lived in the backwoods. They're trying to get the fire under control. But like I said, it was a total loss. There was nothing left but ashes and questions. And the biggest question wasn't if something happened, it was what the hell actually happened in that house. Because this wasn't some random fire, and Georgia didn't just fall, and houses don't stab you, and fires don't just conveniently start themselves after. So somebody knows something, and somebody is lying.
Somebody lying, but the truth ain't in them. So, boom, while Georgia is literally fighting for her life in the hospital, investigators are back at what's left of the house trying to make sense of the mess. And when I say mess, I mean ashes, debris, and of course, chaos. Now, digging through what's left, they start finding knives, plural, right? Not one knife, not two, but multiple knives. So now it's real clear. This isn't just a fire, this is a whole crime scene. So police pull Ramona to the side and ask the obvious question, like, who would want to hurt your mama? And Ramona like, nobody. My mama ain't had no enemy. She was a good Christian voodoo woman. You know what I'm saying? Good Christian voodoo woman. Which, okay, clearly Ramona didn't know her mama had a side hustle in spiritual warfare, but we'll let her have that for now. Ramona tells them that she had stepped outside right before all this happened, and yeah, they were already people over at the house. So detectives do what detectives do. They start running down the guest list. First up, the ex-husband Luke. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he owned the property. They asked Ramona about him, and she basically like, look, they cool, but he weird. She said Luke still be telling people they together. Sir, y'all been divorced since 2004. That dude ain't gonna let it go. That's so sad, man. Let it go, Joe, please. Please let it go. Now, Luke is over at the hospital and police decide it's his turn. This man looks detective dead in the face and says, that's my wife. We live together. Like, obviously delusion. Hey, that's probably why she left him to stay on the land. She probably knew he was crazy, so she could keep her eye out on him. You know what I'm saying?
That's too close
Yeah.
for comfort. I don't want you that close.
Man, I'd rather look. What they say, you gotta keep your enemy close and your enemies even close. I don't know how the saying go, but the point I'm checking, because I know one of the cousins gonna correct me. The point I'm making is she probably like, let me just keep him close by so I keep an eye on him. Cause you know what I'm saying? Obviously the dude got some issues, you know what I'm saying? So look, anyway. The detective's like, yeah, we know that's a lie, bro. Y'all ain't married. Y'all got divorced in 2004. Lou says he ain't got nothing to do with what had happened. He claimed around 11:30 that morning, he was out in the garage with Brad helping load scrap metal, right? So, he like, I got an alibi. And, of course, the alibi is real country activities. You know what I'm saying? Just Negroes scrapping. Lou says while they're out there, they see cars pull up. They notice smoke. And according to him, Lenorris comes over like, hey, the house is on fire. So police go talk to Brad, and Brad, he bets up the story word for word, right? Same time, same place, same version. And now investigators are like, okay, interesting. So investigators look at each other like, well, Luke might be weird, but he ain't our guy. And just like that, the ex-husband is ruled out, which leaves exactly one option. The other couple, the ones who just so happen to be the ones who noticed the fire.
Baby, that's where this story really start cooking. So now the texts are
Mm.
like, okay, Luke is a
No
little.
pun intended. You get it? House fire cook. Sorry, go ahead.
So now the texts are like, okay, Luke is a little strange, but if he didn't do it, where the hell is these niggas Kim and Lenorris? Because let's not forget they were also at the house when all this goes down. So police go ahead and put a bolo out for both of them, right? And when I tell you, it only took an hour to find these people, like 60 minutes, literally an hour. Y'all know where them niggas was at? Walking through
Where were
a
they at, Tiffany?
cemetery.
You said what?
They was walking through
A
a
walk?
cemetery, like a mile away from the
That's I don't
scene.
know. Maybe that's that southern says. I don't know. Folks down south, man. But let me clarify. When I say down south, I'm talking about like the L.A., like lower Alabama down south. You know what I'm saying? Like just in a country backwoods. They be doing some weird stuff. So walking in the cemetery might be like a pastime thing for them. I don't know. They eat. I mean, these are people that eat boiled peanuts.
Don't do
So.
that. So they're only like a mile away from the crime scene. Like, okay, like who just goes on a leisurely cemetery stroll after a house fire and an attempted murder, and who walks through a cemetery? That is so creepy to me. Like that is not.
I mean, during the
I
daytime, I
don't.
told
It's
you the story.
weird. I don't like cemeteries. It's weird to me. I don't like cemeteries.
Did I tell you real quick? I'm sorry, real quick story. Did I tell you the time that me and my son was in the cemetery? We were looking for my father's tombstone or whatever you call it, the stone in the ground, and we're looking, and I tell him I'm like he got the same name as you. Like after 6 people, we're like, Dad, why is there so many Willies dead in the cemetery? I'm like,
It's the
dude, we got
old
an
people
old
name.
name. That's why we got an old name, man. So that's the reason why. But I know that had nothing to do with it. But it was funny to me. Proceed with the story, Tiffany.
No, but like people be having some weird stories about like things that be happening in cemeteries, and I don't be playing around with that stuff. So,
I think it'd be real.
oh, I think it is too, and that's why I don't be playing around with it. You will not catch me in the cemetery. I don't like. They be like, "Oh, let's go for Halloween." No, thank you. I don't wish to be scared out of my mind. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah,
I,
real
I, I
talk.
have my ghost stories that I have personally experienced. I don't play about that stuff. Leave. I no. But anyway, another story for another day. So this is not a red flag. It's a whole marching band, instruments included. So the officers pull up, and Lenorris immediately gets agitated and tries to walk away. Sir, this is not the time for cardio. So they just go ahead. They like, look, we ain't about to do this. They just go ahead and detain both Kim and Lenorris, and they bring them in. But they don't even interview them right away. They gonna let them sit overnight and marinate.
Let them simmer, girl. Let them. So that's how you. A good snitching story. Always the good ones. You gotta let them simmer. Know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so
Let them
somebody
feel the
said the other day, like,
cross.
you like to hear yourself talk, and I'm starting to really think that they were telling the truth.
I just said to let them simmer in the four walls, and when the four walls hit them, they start snitching. Good grief! I'm just adding to the content of the story. Gee, I'm gonna be quiet from this point on. Proceed.
So they start with Lenorris first. And this man, he walks into the interrogation room, and this man instantly turns into a stuttering Stanley, talking about some when I had pulled up, there was some people, there was cars outside. I was just waiting. Nigga, we know you're lying. We know you're lying. Then he says, and then I saw this black man run out. Okay, so I have a question. Why is there always a mystery black man when somebody don't know what to say? Why is that? Every story.
Mm-mm.
And then he keeps going. He like, and then I saw some smoke. So I had went inside. I was trying to find Georgia, but I couldn't find her. But somehow I found loot. Okay, sir. Let's break this down because he sounds slow and stupid. So let me get this straight. You couldn't find the woman who lived there, but you found the ex-husband who supposedly didn't. Okay, all right. So at this point, detectives already know what time it is. This man is rambling, contradicting himself, and he's trying to sound confused on purpose. Or maybe he's not. Maybe he's just stupid. I'm gonna go with the second option. Because this interview, it just continues to go downhill from here.
Mm. So Lenora finally starts talking and eventually admits, yeah, me and my wife were having marital problems, so we went to Georgia for spiritual healing. Ah, there it is. When therapy don't work, you call the voodoo lady. That's all you got to do. Now let's talk about Lenores and Kim real quick because we don't have a whole lot on them, and honestly, that's because they weren't that important in life until they decided to be stupid. Here's what we do know:
Not
Kimberly
important in
Williams was
life.
born in 1980. Say that again.
I said not they weren't that important in life.
I mean, right? When she met Lenor's, sis already had a teenage daughter and an infant son. So she was already deep in the single mama trenches, right? Lenore was born in 1984, so we, don't know much about his background. And honestly, we really don't care. Come on, man. We don't hug. Suppose we don't know yet, but we don't hug killers. You know what I'm saying? Because that, that ain't the important part. The drama is they met on Facebook. Of course they did. Because nothing good ever starts with he slid in my inbox on Facebook, right?
Especially if it was Facebook dating.
I heard some stories about that, man.
Told
I
you I think
heard,
I met a serial killer on there.
man,
Told you
you
about that little
always
short man. I really think he was a serial killer or a killer. He was some. I just he was
refresh. Can you refresh my memory?
remember the
What
short
did he
dude I
do?
was telling you about. He had a Napoleon complex and he had moved from Columbus to Cleveland and he was living with his
Oh
and
yeah,
I was supposed to
yes,
like see him
yes,
when I came down there, but we was drinking and had fun and like the nigga like text me like not good. I was like, oh no. I was like, oh, you ain't want to get me,
yes,
sir.
yes. Okay, I remember that. So anyway, like I said, they dated for 4 years before they met. they ever met Georgia. A year into their relationship, they had a baby together, right? So at that time, Lenorris was working, traveling construction, moving around for work. Eventually, they got married on June 20th, 2015. He later gets a job at a solar company, and for a minute, it's given, we doing good, right? But then life hits, bill hits, and Lenorris gets fired. And all we know is when the money ain't right, the marriage ain't right, because we know there is no romance without finance, right? Things get toxic real quick. So instead of fixing the budget, instead of changing habits, instead of getting practical help, they go to counseling. That's what they do.
I mean, that's
But
smart. You
not
should go to
regular
counseling.
counseling.
That's smart though.
Oh yeah, I'm not knocking it, man. I'm not. Let me be quiet because I don't want to keep talking because obviously I like to hear myself talk. So I'm gonna leave my little stories to myself. All right. So anyway, they go to Georgia, good old Georgia, because she specialized in the type of spiritual healing they needed. Right? They didn't want to put in the work. They just wanted somebody to pray over them, and everything was good to go. You know what I'm saying? And the question is, why did they need spiritual healing? Right? Y'all need some financial y'all need some financial help, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody to help you manage your bills and stop living beyond your means.
Hmm. So because this is why, let's sit with this. Y'all, okay. They needed spiritual healing because Lenorris believed one of his ex-girlfriends was jealous that he got married. And wait till y'all see the picture of Lenorris, because you're gonna laugh. Like, jealous of what? Right. And she was in fact so jealous that allegedly this woman took his drawers, some
Mm,
fingernail clippings, and her menstrual blood and buried it.
mm. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. That ain't it disgusting
I
at
would
the
say
same
it's
time.
nasty. Okay. I need to know what kind of crock pot witchcraft recipe this is. I don't
And
want
that's why
no
you can't
part.
hold on, but that's why you can't eat over everybody's house because that's the same pot that they probably cooking the chicken Alfredo in. Y'all gotta be careful in these streets.
But you for real, you really can't eat at everybody's house. I'm very
Like
big
real
on that.
talk. Yes.
I don't eat at everybody's house. Now, from what I understand in the hoodoo and voodoo culture, if somebody puts bad roots on you, you need a stronger spiritual leader to remove it. Because I don't know nothing about that. If somebody knows, y'all can educate us. Because I love to learn, educate us. So, what do? They call in the big boss of blessings herself, Georgia. But at this point, this ain't counseling. This is the WWE WrestleMania of the spirits. And y'all, this is where it goes left, right? Real fast.
Mm,
So,
mm,
boom. Kim and Lenorris go to Georgia like, hey, we need you to lift this curse, fix our marriage, and get this jealous ex's witchcraft off of us. And Georgia,
mm.
being the church hoodoo hybrid healer that she is, she says, okay, I'll pray for y'all. I'll give y'all some herbs and things should start to prosper. Cool. Sounds reasonable, right? But see,
Right.
Kim and Lenorris, they was expecting like a Amazon Prime delivery on their blessings. Like they wanted same day shipping, no delays. They wanted between 10 and 3, no processing time. And when life didn't magically turn around within 48 hours, oh, they was big mad. Like, I mean, put on the cape, they was super mad. Because not only were they still broke, they were paying Georgia for spiritual services and not seeing a return on their investment. Now, I ain't trying to be funny, but they say, okay, so we're not talking about what they had going on, but they say you gotta pray, but then you gotta wait on the Lord. Like it ain't like,
Mm.
don't they say like it's not like a microwave type situation? Like it's like
Yes, you gotta wait on the
right. I
Lord,
say
man.
sometimes it's like a crock pot type situation, but in that waiting, you're supposed to learn patience, and it's usually like a lesson in the blessing. So maybe they missed that lesson in church. I think they might have missed that lesson in church, but like I said, basically they wanted it treated like a scratch off ticket, and then they got mad when they didn't hit the jackpot. So
Mm,
now here comes Kim. She get in there and she like, let me tell y'all something. I was asleep. Okay, I took a Benadryl. I had a headache, which is code for don't ask me nothing. I was drowsy and I ain't see nothing. So she claims that Lenorris woke her up and was like, "Hey, I need you to come take a ride with me to Georgia's house." And she says, "quote I don't know what happened." And she had quote just woke up, and then she sees fire.
and that's some
Mhm.
strong Benadryl right there.
Yeah, that's some real
Good
strong.
Lord. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Are you sure you didn't take NyQuil, ma'am?
Yeah, she took the
A
NyQuil PM.
trazodone?
That's
That sounds like more like you took a trazodone and it knocked you out. But okay, we gonna let that rock. So she says Lenorris told her he was going to go help George out the house. And she said she ain't see no other man. Because remember, her husband was like, it was a big black mystery man that ran out. She said she ain't know nothing about that mystery man. I need y'all get y'all story straight, like before y'all commit a crime.
I mean, is you sleep or are you up? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is you sleep or are you up?
Like I said, they did not do a very good job of corroborating their stories together. Criminal 101, if you're gonna commit a crime together, get your story straight before you commit a crime.
Y'all gotta communicate, man. Communicate.
Yes. So, and then with no hesitation, without taking a sip of water, then Miss Benadryl looks at Texas dead in the face and said, "You know what? He did it, ma'am. You snitched quicker than a 911 call connected. She didn't blink, stutter, she ain't pray on it, and she did not consult the ancestors. Just threw her husband under the bus. No loyalty, no ride or die. She just said, I ride and he gonna die." And that cousin's when the police know, oh yeah, one of them niggas did it. But probably both of them are guilty. So the detective's like, oh, Kim want to snitch? Bet. So they get a search warrant for her purse because we all know our purses be holding secrets, trauma, and receipts. Don't let it be purse. That's why I switched to a small
and pass. And pass. Sorry.
So anyway, they hit the jackpot in that purse because inside her purse, they found a little angry notebook with diary entries dragging Georgia. Sis was in there writing like, "Dear diary, I hate that voodoo lady." Okay, girl, you got some middle school rage and grown woman consequences. But wait, it gets better. They also found a Dollar General receipt from that same morning. And on her shopping list, duct tape, knives, and not just any knives. The exact same paring knives they found burnt up in the debris at the crime scene. So detectives, they go and get the Dollar General footage. The Dollar General tree footage.
I was about to thank you. I was about to say, because they down south. There ain't no Dollar General. That's Dollar General tree.
And who do they see on this camera buying murder supplies? Lenorris. Okay, So like we said, what not to do? Like how many cases have we covered? Y'all done got caught up on surveillance. Y'all don't throw away y'all receipts. Y'all pay with credit cards. Like y'all gotta do better. Tired.
That's why Tiffany is about to start a new segment. Besides her one segment, she started One Bad Day. She gonna start one called How to Get Away with Murder.
I mean,
it's gonna be once a month.
Cause y'all gotta get this together. I'm not advocating to go commit murder, but if you gonna commit murder, I need y'all to like learn from watch some true crime, learn what not to do. Shit.
I know. Cause think about it, a lot of the cases that we have, it's not like not all of them, but majority of them, it ain't like the detectives really got to put in that hard work to try to figure it out. It be the stupidest stuff that it make it so obvious who did it.
Right, and it's just like y'all don't put no thought in. But you know this can.
When y'all was walking through the cemetery, y'all wasn't discussing what we gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I swear on everything. Like I have just been sitting here the last couple of days. I'm like, people are not that fucking bright. You can tell who does not think because I'm like, just because y'all have mental activity, it does not constitute thinking, and it shows all the time. This is a prime example of people who don't think because y'all are stupid.
They're the ones that had IEPs in school.
No, I don't even matter that you can have an IEP and still be smart and think. Y'all are just stupid. It's people with college degrees that don't damn think and they're still stupid.
Y'all done made Tiffany mad. Jeez.
Because I'm just, my patience is bad. Okay, it's been a week. So anyway, so they see Lenorris on camera. This man ain't trying to hide. He ain't wearing no hat, no hoodie. He didn't send somebody else. This man just went and bought the How to Commit a Felony Starter Kit in 4K HD.
At Dollar General tree. And because of course, they sell that.
So now detectives, they walk back into the interrogation room. They like, hey, Lenorris, remember that fairy tale you told us? And they like, yeah, can you go running back this time? But can you tell us the truth? And then he was just like, he probably had that stupid ass nigga face like, oh shit, I've been caught. You know how that, well, you don't know, but y'all be having that stupid face when y'all get caught doing something stupid. So his whole story changes because nothing makes a liar talk faster than seeing themselves on camera at Dollar General tree with murder coupons.
Now y'all already know I hate a snitch. Actually, you know what I'm saying? But really, hate a snitch who always lies while snitching. If you gonna snitch, just snitch the right way. If you about to go ahead and go ahead and be truthful. Get off your chest, because the truth will set you free. And this is exactly what Lenorris does. The second detectives show up with the Dollar General tree receipt. His story, you know what I'm saying, the whole story does a backflip. Suddenly, he remembers everything. Now he's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. What had happened was me and Kim been giving Georgia money, $350 here, $175 there. Man, blessings cost. Jeez.
What blessings cost? When I
Oh,
told the Black Jesus I be holding up the main line, he ain't charged me yet.
Jesus
Praise
on the
the
main
Lord.
line. I know that, but I'm saying her blood, like, gee, that's how you know, man. God said his grace is free. Right? You know what I'm saying? And if you, that's why people need to really get in the Bible. Read the Bible, because it talks about it's you can't do nothing to earn his grace. His grace is not only free, but it's sufficient. Yet people paying all this money to get a blessing. You know what I'm saying? You broke it. You paying this woman $350 here, $175 there, and wonder why you ain't getting nothing. Give it to the Lord.
If I said they was putting
Hey,
towards their tithes, maybe they all would have got y'all blessing
hey,
back.
look,
I'm
who
just
you like?
saying.
Look, hey, that's the truth now. So anyway, he says nothing was getting better after giving them that money. He says they broke, they stressed, and if this spiritual healing is supposed to help them prosper, right? It was supposed to, but where's the prosperity at? Since it's not working. And Georgia tells them, well, we could just start the process over. And they like, start over. We ain't even finished paying for the Georgia ain't look, I ain't all right, you know what? We gotta take responsibility, right? We gotta do this. Georgia, you ain't right. No, I'm saying
I
you
mean,
ain't right.
Georgia
You
just on her hustle. Like, I mean,
nah, but she taking people money,
scamming. He
man.
scamming.
Yeah, you scamming. Know what I'm saying? Like you literally telling you telling these people that you can bless them. You take their money, it don't work, and your response is, all right, let's start. We're gonna have to go ahead and start all over. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put you in a put you in a
The remedial
we
program of the.
yeah. See, what we had you in the starter program
We're
for
gonna
beginning
upgrade you to
blessing.
the
We about to
plus,
upgrade you. Yeah, to the
the plus
plus. Know what I'm
program.
saying? So look. And this is where the Olympic level lying begins. Lenore says Georgia attacked him first, right? Sir, you want me to believe a 61-year-old woman ran up on you like Stone Cold Steve Austin? Be serious now. Then he says he stabbed her in self-defense. Oh, but wait, because it gets dumber.
I paused. So first he said he wasn't there. Then he said he tried to
Right?
save her. Now it was self defense.
Now he said it was self-defense. He said Georgia jumped up and put him in a headlock. You know what I'm saying? And was trying to put him to sleep. So he had to stab her in self-defense. So Georgia got mad because, you know what I'm saying, he was upset that he had to start the, you know what I'm saying, he had to go from the bronze to the gold, you know what I'm saying, to the silver blessing program. So she got mad and attacked him, right? Because he wasn't taking her sales pitch. So anyway, detectives asked, okay then, why did you have the duct tape? And this man says, and I quote, well, I was going to tape her up, but I decided not to. Sir. So now they ask, why did you have the knife? And this fool says, I was going to use the knife to threaten her. Excuse me? So let's get this right. You brought duct tape and a knife to spiritually negotiate, right? Like, you going to give me these blessings one way or another. Girl, don't make me cut you. You can't make yourself up, right? And then, as if it couldn't get worse, he tries to play the loyal husband card, right? He says Kim didn't have nothing to do with it. It was all on me. Boy,
Oh,
shut
that's
up,
so
bro.
sweet.
All right, man, look at him. That's all on me. He needs somebody to bail him out, bond him out. You know what I'm saying? So you snitched, you lied, you stabbed somebody, you tried to tape up the voodoo lady. And now you want to take the fall like you're honorable. Kind of makes me wonder, what did you do to that lady that caused her to put roots on you? Maybe she wasn't obsessed.
Uh, first of all, when I'm
Be-
looking at that, first of all, he only about 5'6", okay? So I think he has a Napoleon complex, and I think he thinks that everybody's obsessed with him. And in reality, that probably lady probably ain't thinking about his ass. She
I definitely would
probably
like to know what.
happy that he moved on and left her alone.
That's crazy, man. She said she put the roots on them. Man, they do make you question, right? So now you want to fall, no want to take the fall like you're honorable, right? Detective did not believe him because at this point, the only roots on Lenor's was the roots of stupidity.
I second that. Hmm So at this point, detectives are tired of playing games with Lenorris, right? They like, you want to lie? Don't even worry about it. We got you. So they flip the script and play a little snippet of Kim's interview where she looked him dead in the face and said he did it. Baby, when Lenorris heard that, his whole spirit left the room. This man said, well, fuck that bitch too.
Straight to her like that.
Well, that marriage was over in 0.2 seconds. And suddenly his memory got real sharp. Now he's saying, you know what? It was actually Kim who stabbed Georgia. She knew the plan. She's the one who did it. You know what? Matter of fact, Georgia broke our marriage. We could
No,
never
she
be
did.
happy. And she was causing all our problems. Just blaming everybody but himself. Now, both of them are pointing fingers like the Spider-Man meme. They ain't got no loyalty, no ride or die. They just snitching for sport at this point. And at this point, the detectives are just done. Like, they like, you know, but fuck this. Both y'all going to jail. Arrested both of them, charged them with attempted murder. Because let's be real, if y'all put half the energy y'all put into these lives, knives, and voodoo into your marriage, we probably wouldn't even be here right now.
True. Right? So, cousins, buckle up because this is where it gets real. On May 8th, 2017, 2 weeks after the attack, Georgia finally wakes up from her coma. So, guess what? Georgia ain't dead. No, y'all. Yep.
I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
And the second she's strong enough to talk, detectives pull up like, ma'am, please tell us what really happened. And baby, she spills, right? Georgia tells them that on the day of the attack, Kim and Lenorris actually waited for her other clients to leave, right? So she was scamming other people, right? Now, hold on. So you mean to tell me y'all scheduled a murder like it's a doctor's appointment, right? A straight mess. So Georgia said she told Kim and Lenorris she couldn't talk right then. And Lawrence is like, nah, we're just checking up on you. So meanwhile, Kim just standing there, quiet, a little bit too quiet. But we know she was plotting. And then out of nowhere, Lenore jumps up, grabs a board off her desk, and hits Georgia with it, screaming, "Where's the money, bitch?" Excuse me, not good morning, not God bless you, not can we talk. Where's the money, biatch? Okay, so we doing arson and arrogance today, bet. And then here come Kim. She stands up and starts stabbing Georgia. Neck, her back, her arm, and her everywhere. No hesitation, no pause, just straight psycho mode. Georgia collapsed, bleeding out, and these two idiots assume she's dead. So what do? They start rummaging through her desk like crackhead pirates, throwing papers, arguing, yelling. You know, real Bonnie and Clyde meets Family Dollar energy. But then it gets evil. Lenore grabs a gas can and starts pouring gasoline everywhere. On the furniture, on the floor, on Georgia. Let me say that again, cousins in the back. He poured gasoline on a woman they had just stabbed and left her to burn. These two masterminds decide to make their great escape, except they left their keys in the house. How dumb can you be?
Yep, well.
So you planned the whole murder, but then playing pocket. After setting her on fire, they just dip, leave her there to die. But God said, not today, right? Now hold on. Now we don't know what God we talk about because I don't know if it's my black Jesus who said that. Know what I'm saying? Because she was practicing voodoo and lying for blessings. But you know what? He forgive everybody. So Georgia, 61 years old, stabbed multiple times, covered in gasoline in a house fire. Crawls out of that home, drives herself in the woods, and makes it to that tree where her daughter eventually finds her. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Maybe she got, you know what I'm saying? Maybe God was trying to save her to let her know that he real and, you know what I'm saying? Maybe she need to get her life together. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That could be.
But you know, she was 61, man. And back in the day too, that them black black people built different back then. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. They built different. They built Ford tough. That wasn't luck. That wasn't coincidence. That was strength. That was survival. And that was God. Because the so-called voodoo lady outlived the people who tried to kill her. Cousins, this ain't just a case. This is spiritual warfare and country stupidity sprinkled on top. And we still not done.
After all that, they get locked up, and like we said, they're hit with arson and attempted murder, right? And now we're gearing up for trial. But guess who folded first? Lenorris.
Oh, we knew that.
I can't wait to post the pictures. This man aggravates my spirit. So, Mr. Where my money at, bitch? Mr. It was self-defense. Mr. I was gonna tape her up, but changed my mind. He decides to take a blind plea. And for the cousins who don't know, a blind plea means the prosecution offers you nothing. You don't get a deal, a bargain, no discount sentence. You literally just walk into court like whatever the judge gives me, I'm just gonna take it. AB, that judge was like, oh, okay. And gave that man 40 years. Whew.
40 years.
But it gets better. Part of his plea deal was he had to testify against his wife. Now, you know that by law, you can opt out of testifying against your spouse, right? So he could have opted out, but he said no.
He said he tired of this. He tired. I'm snitch. If I'm gonna snitch, I'm about to snitch. So back up for a minute. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that. So you can opt out of it.
It's called spousal privilege. That's what it is. There's spousal testimonial privilege and marital communications privileges. So the law, like by law, they can't touch that. But apparently, Lenorris didn't care and he opted out of that shit. So not only did he snitch, but he signed up to snitch in open court. So when Kim finds out her quote, for better or for worse, husband's about to get on that stand and sing like Patti LaBelle, she said, oh, hell no, you're not about to Luther Vandross me. And she runs the court like, look, I'm going to take a plea deal too. Blind plea me, please. Y'all stupid. I'd have been like, can I take a plea too? But can y'all like give me a type of
Yeah, I don't want to. I want to see what's coming at my way. Don't blind plea me. You know what I'm saying? 40 years. No,
they slow. Judge gave her 40 years too. They both of them charged with first degree arson and aggravated assault. They both got 40 years. They're both stupid. So Lenorris is sitting over at Wilcox State Prison with a release date of April 24th, 2047. I think the same year R. Kelly get out. And yes, this is the exact anniversary of the crime. Poetic justice, ain't it? Now, I don't know how this worked, but Kimberly is at Pulaski. Man, Pulaski is jumping with a release date of March 27th, 2052. I wonder if she done did something in there and got, because that's 5 years later.
I mean, most likely if they add in time, she obviously did.
It's not on her prison record, but she had to have done something for another 5 years. They both got 40 years. She gonna be old as Moses when she get out. So what's the moral of today's story, cousins? If you gonna do voodoo, I'm gonna need you to do it right. And if you gonna do murder, don't leave receipts. And if you gonna be married, don't snitch faster than 911 connects, okay? Because at the end of the day, the only root on this marriage was dumbassery.
Now let's talk about the part that really matters. Georgia lived, right? And that don't happen that often in our stories, right? So it was not actually a murder victim. You know what I'm saying? She actually survived, right?
I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
They stabbed this woman. They beat her. They poured gasoline on her. They set her entire house on fire. And she still crawled out and said, not today. You know what I'm saying? She was in a coma. She woke up. She snitched on both of them with a perfect clarity. And she is still preaching the word of God to this day. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm hoping she preaching the real word of God, not mixed with a little bit of voodoo. You know what I'm saying? Now, look, and you got to think about it, too. Think about the clientele that she can get from her story. You know what I'm saying? From her testimony, right? To tell people that they did this to me, but God saved me. You know what I'm saying? He drug me out that fire himself. Put me up against the tree of life. You know what I'm saying? And saved my life. Now, for $13.45, I can be a blessing to you. That's all she gonna do right there. Tell you. Now, look. We don't know if she's still doing the spiritual healing with the side of herb or if she retired from the voodoo toolbox. But what we do know is this. She's still in church. She's still calling on the Lord. She's giving testimonies that make her, people shout. Georgia herself says she praises God for bringing her through it. And honestly, he must really rock with her. Like, real talk. Because, again, have we ever had a story, though, Tiffany, where
somebody survived?
Yeah. We never had one. No. I just talked about that. Yeah. Because, like I said, she survived. 2 idiots, 27 several wounds, 27. And a whole house fire. That ain't luck. That ain't coincidence. That's divine favor with a sprinkle of you picked the wrong one. Now, as for Kim and Lenorris, They wanted their marriage healed, but instead they both got 40 years, and they won't see freedom until their AARP cars show up. Or I wonder if they still married.
I mean, what's the point of getting divorced? Shit, it ain't no point.
Niggas ain't got nothing else to do while they in jail. You know what I'm saying? They ain't be having nothing else to do. So the moral of the story is: you play stupid games, you win matching jumpsuits.
Basically.
And y'all should be proud of me, man, because I didn't even go in on Georgia.
You're
I
not
didn't.
supposed to.
What I mean, look, our victims, if we got victims, it's still responsibility,
Oh,
right?
I thought
You
you
know
were
what I'm
talking about
saying?
her. I thought you were talking about how she looked. Oh, go off then.
I was going no. I said that they should be proud of me because I was gonna be talking about how she looked. You know what I'm saying? But y'all could take a look at. I'll post it. You know what I'm saying? She got Jerry curl though, right? And don't she got Jerry curl?
In the one picture, yes, she do.
Yeah, she got a straight her curl is Jerry. All right. So with that being said, go ahead, girl. What we got?
Please don't commit murder if you can't think. If you're stupid, just don't commit murder. That is your lesson of today. I don't have much. I put everything at the beginning of the episode as far as church announcements. So just make sure you heed those. We appreciate y'all listening with us and staying with us for another week.
And don't forget, Love Lies and Alibis drops on Tuesday, so make sure you check that out.
Yes, it drops on the subscription side, as well as the question drops in the Love Lies and Alibis group. Make sure you are following us on all of our social media platforms. We are on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, Melanin Mysteries Podcast. The Facebook private group is Love Lies and Alibis Melanin Mysteries. You might type in Melanin Mysteries and then it comes up. It's very weird. I can't fix it. And anything else? That's all I got.
No, that's it.
All right. Well, just remember that make sure that love should not come with a life sentence or 40 years. And don't take no blind plea. So, like I said, love should not come with a life sentence. Make sure you choose freedom and not felonies, y'all. Please.
And we out. Take it easy.